Hello, people. All right, I'm smiling. You see this? Okay. Yeah. Today I will make a video. Rather, I'm making a diary for myself, and the side effect is that it's shared and public, so you can watch it. But yeah, basically, it's just for for my higher self watching my higher self while making a video, and as well when I'm retired, I will just use it as a diary and watch it with the kids of my kids. We just chill right there. Yeah, whatever. So topic's gonna be yeah. I had two topics coming in my mind, and I can wrap them up to a very nice enlightentainment burrito. And the topic is highly sensitive men. It is highly sensitive persons in general, but especially men. And also um, about emotions. Yeah, that fits, right? And the world of emotions in correlation to spirituality, and the difference of words. You will understand what it is when we get to the topic. So, yeah, let's start with the highly sensitive men, right? So, see, it has been a kind of a taboo in society for a long time. We had these role models, these ideas, these projected images, for what reason ever, that men should not show emotions. They have to be tough and hard, and yeah, you know what I mean. And see, that is why there is a lot of confusion and also anxiety. What I think is that there is not a difference between persons, whether male or female, in terms of the potential to be sensitive. And of course, if we look back in our history, how we evolved, of course, it makes sense that man, it might have been an advantage for men in certain situations to not show emotion, not what's really happening, being looking stone cold and stuff like that. And I know these YouTube video channels where they have this philosophy of, it often comes mixed with stoicism, which is a philosophy. You can check it out, stoicism. And then they also say, as a man, you must be so cold and so strong and feel nothing, and basically, they're so masculine to do this, and don't care for anything, and you just, this kind of stuff. But I think it is not a contradiction to be able to show emotions and at the same time handle your life like a real G and nobody else. You can at one moment cry, even in a public situation. A lot of celebrities, famous people, have showed it recently. Also male, role models like Hamza Chimaev, also John Strickland, and many more have showed that they can show emotion and authentically cry, and it's not a contradiction to being a super masculine, strong man that handles his life and all kinds of crises. At the same time, it's not a contradiction, it's simply not true. You can be crying and being a pussy, and then you also don't handle your life and you being a pussy. But you can show emotions, but being the man, you know. So it can strengthen you, it can help you to just work through something and not swallow it. If you would swallow it and not show authentic emotion, you would probably traumatize yourself in the situation. You can as well lose people or lose contact to yourself, and because you lose contact to yourself, people think you lack something, and then you lose it. You lose connection to the world when you lose connection to emotions. All right, but of course emotional control, emotional regulation is very important. I have made enough video about that. Abuse and the inability to regulate your own emotions is closely related, because a lot of people use other people to regulate their emotions because there is a disbalance. They are kind of addicted, codependent of people around them to make up for whatever is wrong with them. But we're not talking about this shit now. We talk about real shit. And so, yeah, showing emotion is basically not a contradiction to handle your life and face your fears every day. And it is also important to face your fears, because I think a lot of problems with anxiety come because our demons that we have had back in that our ancestors faced are banned. We don't have wild animals in the wild. We don't have these natural catastrophes that come so close to us because our buildings are strong, you know. We don't have to hustle every day. We don't fight physically. We don't run away. We don't have a way to live out fight and flight, you know. There is the fight and flight thing. This means there's a problem. I have adrenaline. I'm ready to go. I can run. I can fight. And it will help me to put away all the adrenaline again when I'm making this movement, that hustle, and then I'm fine again. And because we do not live it out today, you know, our boss, another person, you know, the wild animals and monsters, they will come towards us as people. And we are not allowed to fight people, and we are not supposed to run away from people. And this is where we can go nowhere with that emotion and physical reaction. So we have to adapt to that and learn how to handle it and make sports, running, stuff like that to make up for it. Yeah, and this also is a reason why anxiety goes strange ways, because we block out something that is authentic feeling. So we have the potential to be anxious. We have this emotion, but we're not supposed to show it. We are not allowed to have the physical reaction like fight or flight. And this is why all kinds of things happening. All right. So then the other topic. Let me get to that now. And that was about the emotions, right? Emotions, in my opinion and experience, are rather like pictures or waves or something fluid like water, than like words, numbers. Yeah, like, you know, if you are dreaming, if you are imagining something in the form of pictures, if you close your eyes. See, this is for me also a spiritual situation, to just perceive whatever comes from the inner world and not even translate it into words. Because words are like pixelated. Words are finished. You have a way how they are spelled, they are limited, and they are like pixels, while the inner experience, full of colors, with pictures, with infinite way, it can be shaped. And yeah, in this flowing forms, metamorphosis, whatever, everything is possible. And then words are limited. Of course, you can add something, by intonation and all kinds of things, but at the end of the day, words are like a pixelation of an original inner happening that is infinitely deep. So, and also you can count words, it's the world of words is like, it's like words and numbers. You can count words, you can make a mathematical, grammatical system, how the words are put and stuff like that. And this is not the world of the inner experience, all right? So there happens something from one to the other. And this, you can also compare it to the quantum physical way to explain quantum states. So a quantum particle can have wave state, that is when it is not interacting with any other particle or measurement, whatever it is. Basically, you leave it in peace, in wave state, in a vacuum. It's not interacting. But as soon as it has to interact, it must decide, where am I, what am I, in what state am I? And at that point it takes shape, it's like a pixelation, then it becomes particle state. Like when you do the double split experiment, you see that when you send photons through two splits, when you don't measure through which split they go, you see the wave nature of it. And this is like the emotions. Nobody, you're not speaking about it, you're not trying to put it in words, you're not holding to it, you just let it happen. It's just happening. You're just watching your inner movie. This is wave state, this is emotions, colors, infinite nuances, all the things, all the facets, nothing interfering with it, interference, my people, right? So, and as soon as you want to see through which split do the photons go, they have to decide, and they change their whole nature to a particle, to a pixelated nature. And then you see the particle nature of it. And the same happens with emotions. Once you start to speak it, once you try to grasp it, drag it into consciousness, think about it, reason, the same happens with your inner feelings. And it can happen, you talk to someone and your mind is taking the pixelated world of words and reasoning and cause and action, or cause and effect. And then you feel like what the person tells me is very reasonable. It makes sense. It creates constructs that make a lot of sense and make me believe and make me agree and make me understand certain things. But at the same time, your heart listens to the intonation, to the body language of the person, to signals between the lines. And then after this conversation, it is very well possible that there is a big contradiction when you are highly sensitive. And you will feel like, my mind is convinced that A is the case, but my heart tells complete different story. It says B is the case. And then you will be in all kinds of turmoil. And basically you can learn, when you're a highly intuitive and highly sensitive person, you can learn actually to always believe in what your heart tells you. Because most of the time your heart is right. Whatever your heart feels is right. Even if the person you had the conversation with convinced you about something and everything makes sense, and you recall it and you recall and you're always thinking over and over, and you think, this is it. They've said it. This makes sense, and this is this. Just so you're calculating, because your heart tells you the different story. But at the end of the day, your heart knew it before, right? So. And this is because we have the two worlds at the same time. The particle world, the world of words, numbers, reasoning, cause and effect. And below we have that layer of waves, liquid, probabilities, frequencies, waves, colors, feelings, vibrations, you know. And another thing I want to say to this topic is that when you are a highly sensitive person, sometimes when you feel nervous, you're running around like a tiger. You're restless, you feel something is off. Sometimes it's good to be completely in the place. Right here, right now, focus. Don't think about anything in the future, in the past, in another place. You stand right here, right here, right here, right now. Just focus on whatever is very close to you, all right? And just go into the feeling. Just don't stop the mind chatter game. Just feel. Just feel and follow that feeling. Whatever you're feeling. Pursue it, put your awareness there. Your awareness is like a light cone that is normally put to the outside. The awareness, wherever your awareness hits, changes to particle state from wave function. You know, probably there is a bird behind me. There is no bird behind me. And this is by putting your awareness onto something you measure. That's the same with quantum physical world. You measure it, so you collapse the wave function from that potential bird behind me, and you measure and you create the pixelated world that has to decide in what state it is. And the same but different is you can also put your awareness on yourself, on your feelings. And this is the same like when you are so intuitive that you find out, okay, my heart is right most of the times, no matter what others tell me, no matter what constructions and reason and chains of reasoning they want to put in my head, they want to convince me of something, they want to make me play that game. And you figure out my heart is always right. Then you have to close these eyes. You have to stop reasoning. You have not to listen and rethink about the logical constructions of the sentences you have talked, but just follow that feeling, whatever you have. And what I want to say is to see with that eye, probably you can call it third eye. You have to close the other eyes. So stop following this, what I said, the world of words, numbers, calculation, and just follow the feeling. And the pictures, the frequencies, the colors, the flow. And this, just putting the cone of awareness to this point will change your nervous feeling, your whatever it is that you feel that makes you feeling unresting, you know. And then this is how to balance yourself, how to get in tune with this. So yeah, it can be very good to go into the wave state, you know, and just follow blindly, like you're blind on the outside world, but you are seeing with your heart. Then you're going blind, but you are guided by your heart, something like that, right? Stay sensitive, stay prayed up, understand that it is absolutely not a contradiction between being sensitive and masculine. But emotional control is important. Emotional regulation is very important. You have to master these things. If you're not mastering, if you not learn it, it will control you. And it can be a weakness then, so to say, from the outside perspective. All right? But if you can master it, it is a very strong tool. And it opens up the authentic world for you, something that not many people can use as a source of information.